so much energy and enthusiasm on this floor, not only because people are learning from exhibitors about what they could do to make things better in their classroom, but teachers are meeting together with each other here, and they're sharing their own classroom practice and their own ideas.
Mental health is a crisis. We need to be sensitive to all that's going on with individuals, especially the children. It's all about the success of them moving forward in their life. And as educators, we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to be the people that help them on a pathway to success.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
You reach the kids different as a classroom teacher than you do as an author. But I still feel like a teacher because when I go to schools, I'm teaching kids about reading and writing. I do writing workshops. I'm just not in the same classroom every day.
Look, it's signed for you.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Classroom Close-Up New Jersey, where we focus on inspirational people and projects in New Jersey's public schools. I'm your host, Marie Bliston, and I'm so glad that you could join us because this week on our show, we're going to bring you highlights from the NJEA Convention. In keeping with a tradition that has continued for 163 years, this is the place for high-quality professional development and awesome networking opportunities for educators. We're standing outside the main exhibit floor while finishing touches are happening all around us. Before you know it, the doors will open on hundreds of exhibits, ideas, workshops, professional consultations, and programs. There's something for everyone, all right here in one place. These exhibits and workshops may have changed through the years. Just look at the ever-popular Digital Boulevard, formerly known as High Tech Hall. But the goal has remained the same, to make New Jersey's public schools the best they can be. So now we'll begin our show with a look at the convention, past, present, and future.
What would it be like to have a place where teachers could gather together to share ideas, learn new things, and improve the quality of learning for every child? Those were the thoughts of a group of educators 163 years ago. At this year's convention, Rosemary Knabb, NJEA historian, was on the exhibit floor and told us all about these early educators and their mission.
In 1853, these educators got together and they created the New Jersey State Teachers Association. And their mission at that point in time was to create a quality education experience for all kids in New Jersey. And they wanted to do that by creating the best professional development experiences for teachers that they could.
And that was the beginning of what we now know today as the NJEA Convention.
The original name of the organization was the New Jersey State Teachers Association. They met every year between Christmas and New Year's in Atlantic City. There was no exhibit floor. We just had professional development programs for teachers. But as we got into the 1920s, there was a great opportunity for us to have an exhibit floor. And what started with a lot of tables and books and things that teachers could collect and materials back into their classrooms, we have now grown into a state-of-the-art exhibit floor that has more than 800 exhibitors. We grew from presenting about 40 programs a year to more than 200 professional development experiences are here. Somewhere around the 1930s, we changed our name to the New Jersey Education Association. And then in the 1960s, we began to expand out to represent all school employees. So now, with a membership of 200,000, we have not only classroom teachers, we have secretaries, we have our bus drivers, and the remarkable thing about the NJEA Convention is that now we have programs for those school employees as well as classroom teachers here.
And those school employees are called Educational Support Professionals, or ESPs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Special ed teacher Lisa DeMarco and her ESP partner Greta Bourne were on the convention floor looking for ideas to take back to their classroom.
You're just working with kids in a medium that really resonates with them.
Exactly. You cannot teach a child the same way as you did 10 years ago. They learn differently today. There are a lot of video-based television. They need more hands-on. It's really neat how they'd have to put the 3D glasses on their head. I'm like, they have to manipulate, which is great for fine motor skills, manipulate instruments to walk through a particular place.
Now you can go to any one of those exhibits.
I would love to have that type of technology in the classroom.
The convention always displays the latest technology to enhance the classroom. But this year, technology is actually enhancing the convention.
They had their own app. I was able to go on prior to and see what workshops were available, what I'd like to see. I was able to star it, highlight it, and it reminded me that the workshop was coming up. It had a map, where things were, where the vendors are. I was able to follow it. I love the apps.
The app isn't the only thing different about this year's convention, so is the process for signing in. Martha Martinez, bilingual math and science teacher, explains how the process has changed.
Last year, I remember that I needed to sign in, and then I had to wait and check my certificate, waited to get printed. The process was longer. Now I just needed to swipe my badge and a small printout with my name and my certificate was there. It was really cool.
Here we are. You're officially in. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Having this certificate helps document the 20 hours of professional development required by school districts each year.
This is a remarkable event. It has been growing and changing through the years. I myself have been coming here for 42 years since I was a new teacher back in the 70s, and I would never miss it. And every time I come here, I see and I learn new things that I didn't know before.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing, Deborah?
Hi, Deb. My mom is a retired world language teacher, and I remember coming in when I was a little child. I see now what my mom saw as a NJEA active member and as a teacher. I see it now front line. And things have changed because I'm assuming back then they didn't have that technology piece that we're now utilizing. From a daughter to now an active member is a totally different ball game.
The exhibit floor has changed dramatically. We now have Digital Boulevard, which is all of the latest technology the teachers use in their classrooms.
When I was doing the virtual reality, the clicking and pointing the thing and being able to walk up to a statue and look at it and feel like you're physically right there in front of it. And then they'd even have the information of what that statue is and like its history. Why is it even in this museum? That was really neat to see and to be able to explore, and you really did feel like you were walking through the museum.
That station talked about how can I integrate technology into my classroom, especially that I'm a science and math teacher.
And it gives kids a real experience that they can see and touch and feel. And for certain students that can really make the difference.
The visual learners.
It is the largest educational gathering of educators in the world. Somewhere between 20 and 40,000 school employees converge in Atlantic City once a year to be able to attend this wonderful event.
I can take back ideas from each particular station. Like the great ideas was great. The funds are given to teachers with great ideas. You have to have the proposal submitted, and if approved, NJEA will give you grant money to implement your new ideas in your classroom. I actually got inspired. I'm going to think and research what can I implement and maybe in the future apply for this particular grant.
There is so much energy and enthusiasm on this floor, not only because people are learning from exhibitors about what they could do to make things better in their classroom, but teachers are meeting together with each other here, and they're sharing their own classroom practice and their own ideas.
A lot of information about the actual grant, how to fill it out, and also the different projects that people have received funding for.
So this is a vibrant, busy place, and I have no doubt as we go forward that 800 exhibitors will become 900, will become 1,000, because this is where all of the action happens at the NJEA Convention.
The convention, it's a great opportunity for not only meet new members, meet old members, members and mid-careers, and also a way of be exposed to the things that we might not be exposed to because we're in our classrooms. So those 2-3 days we're here, we're like sponges, getting information here and there and taking that with us and putting it to work in our classrooms.
The most remarkable thing about the convention is, if you flash back to 1853, where our core purpose and mission in being created was to create unique professional development programs for teachers, here we are 163 years later, and we're still creating great PD programs for teachers and improving the quality of education. If those 3 initial founding fathers were here today, first of all, I think they would be amazed and they would be inspired. And I think that they would be very proud that the tradition they started so long ago and what they felt was important for the students of New Jersey was continued by so many generations of NJEA leaders and members. I have to think that they would just be shocked at what they see and what has happened by their original efforts to make schools better and better. I can't even imagine what this event is going to be 10 years from now, let alone 163 years from now. But I will tell you that I am sure we will be the state of the art and we will be defining what high quality professional development is. I have no doubt about it.
Whatever the future holds, convention organizers tell us that they will keep on evolving, providing educators with resources to meet the needs of the next generation of students. And that includes making sure each child has a healthy body and mind. More about that when we return.
Kids love to be challenged. This nonsense where they don't want to work and they don't care, that's baloney. If you give them the right material and you tell them, you know, you're in charge. What are you thinking? You know, one kid said to me once, nobody ever asked me what I thought. I just looked at him like, how's it humanly possible at this age? You're 18. He said, nobody cares. Nobody wants to listen. You give us that place. So if I could take that with the knowledge and create a better environment, a safe environment, an environment where they want to learn, what more can I ask as a teacher?
Adolescence. If you haven't experienced it for yourself yet, well, you know the old saying, it's such a period of rapid change that between the ages of 12 and 17, parents age 20 years. Adolescence truly can be an exciting time for young people on the threshold of adulthood. With brains developing, plus hormones doing their thing, it can all be a recipe for risky behavior and mental health issues. In fact, many cases of anxiety disorders, depression, and schizophrenia begin before adulthood. Mental health problems can be treated successfully, and here at the NJEA Convention, there are quite a number of professional development opportunities to help educators support children dealing with a wide range of mental health issues.
It's not hard to learn a strategy for calming yourself down. It is hard to remember it when you're under stress.
Teachers need to become informed as to what to look for and how to deal with children that have mental health concerns.
What are some of the things that get you?
The name of this workshop is Developing Social-Emotional Learning Skills. By sharing these skills with educators, the intention is to reduce bullying and to create a safe classroom climate.
Schools are supposed to be the safe haven when children are sent to school. Parents send them and, you know, they don't think twice about saying, okay, my child's at school and you know what? They're going to be taken care of, they're getting their education. I don't have to worry.
What are some of your students' triggers? Rituals and routine. Another student. Transitioning. The goal is to give them a concrete strategy with a prompting cue.
We need to know what's going on with the kids because there is stress on them and they're reacting to it. Between the kids that are cutting themselves and other types of self-harm, early drug abuse or starting out with alcohol and the consequences of that. As an 8th grade teacher, I know that's when kids start to think about it.
At the top of Kathy Assini's priority list of workshops that day was the one named Toxic Mixture, Adolescence and Substance Abuse.
I have a son who is in recovery, long-term active recovery, thank goodness. But as he was going through high school, he was an honors student, played a couple sports, and started to play around and get involved in drinking and then drugs, went off to college on a full scholarship and partied it away. And then finally, wound up in jail. And that was his scared straight, luckily. And it took him a couple months, and then he began a program.
And then I got to start teaching in the department, right? My professors, my mentors, the people that taught me a new way of life in the education system are now my colleagues.
So I don't know where along the line, as a parent, I could have changed or could I have changed it? And as a teacher, I would like those same answers.
Above 0.2 to have a blackout. As your tolerance increases, blackouts can start to happen more frequently at lower levels of blood alcohol, but that's a sign of intense, 0.2 is very high.
After thumbing through the convention program, we quickly discovered workshops on mindfulness and yoga.
I wonder if some of those same things that work for me in my yoga practice would make sense for the children in my room who needed lots of movement to help to solidify the information that I was teaching them.
Brain-boosting activities to engage and energize students.
So you're going to go over here, you two play each other, you two play each other.
And finally, circling back to curriculum building for social emotional success.
According to some researchers, social skills deficit is a type of learning disability because social skill is a skill that you have to learn. Just like you have to learn ABCs, you have to learn how to interact.
20 years ago, kids were told how to behave. They were told the right answer. They were told what page to turn to. And now we don't do that. It's more of allowing kids to grow. But if you let a plant grow just on its own and it gets spindly, it's gonna fall over. We're raising kids to live differently as they're being exposed to everything that's going on through whether it's social media or the commercials. So now we have to give kids different supports. They need to understand it and evaluate it and deal with it themselves.
Mental health is a crisis. We need to be sensitive to all that's going on with individuals, especially the children. It's all about the success of them moving forward in their life. And as educators, we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to be the people that help them on a pathway to success.
All right, you want two winners? Want to do co-winners? What do you want to do? It's up to you. All right.
I promise to give only positive energy into our classroom and into our school.
The Peace Zone has 3 components. The first one is a commitment or a promise to do things only in a positive way. I want to tell you how incredible you are. We know that the more praise someone gives us, the better we feel and the more we want to learn.
It's important for all of us to understand that you need to be true to your own voice. You need to be true to yourself, no matter what you do. For me, it's very important to help my own students to find themselves.
Of all the convention events, one I look forward to most is joining my colleagues to listen to the inspiring words of guest speakers. This year, one of the speakers is a familiar face to longtime classroom close-up viewers. Lisa Furnari-Williver is a former teacher. Today, she is best known as the author of a popular series of books that explore the history and culture of New Jersey.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Teacher, author, and New Jersey's biggest fan.
There you go. Thank you.
Meet Lisa Furnari-Williver. She's the author of the popular Nikki Fifth children's book series.
One of the reasons the books have been successful is because I write things that New Jersey teachers and students want.
It's my favorite book. I have it memorized.
guys. Please don't think I'm crazy.
You know, I was a teacher, so I knew what kind of books we were always looking for. So I think it's just because we fill the void.
It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too. Thank you, I appreciate that.
At the 2016 NJEA Convention, Lisa and her husband Todd handed out the latest Nikki Fifth book and brand new curriculum.
And basically it includes the teacher's guide, which is a 208-page colorful, color-coded, comprehensive guide for New Jersey teachers. And at the NJEA Convention, we just released Nikki Fifth Fit, which is book 10 in the series, and we were very happy to give away over 30,000 copies to NJEA members.
Well, good morning. You know, I'm so honored to introduce our plenary speaker today. Ms. Fennery-Willever taught in the Trenton Public Schools before she was a world-renowned and award-winning author.
She was also invited to this year's convention as a keynote speaker.
Lisa Fennery-Willever.
I was happy and excited, but I was really honored. It was like coming home. It was a really great audience, and I was happy to be up there. I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of kids all over the state, and if you ask any of them where I get my ideas, they will tell you I get them from my life. The mandatory non-negotiable Sunday ride. And when we would protest, my dad would say his famous 4-word answer, get in the car.
Those Sunday family drives actually inspired several of the 25 books Lisa has written, including many of the themes found in the Nikki Fifth book series.
The history of Nikki Fifth, it's about a boy who is in Philadelphia, living on 5th Street, finds out he's moving to New Jersey. He doesn't want to move. Eventually, because he's a kid, he has to move. And as the series progresses, he finds a new friend in New Jersey, T-Bone, and they become very good friends. And they also start to go on some adventures. The parents take them on a set of day trips, and once they do that, they're asked by the state to be unofficial junior ambassadors. Their job's simply to find, visit, and write about the amazing places in New Jersey. And that allows me to have my characters travel all over the state and have my readers accompany them.
Lisa, welcome to Classroom Close-Up.
Thank you, it's nice to be here.
We've featured Lisa's work several times on Classroom Close-Up. We've watched her thrive as a teacher, author, and advocate for public education.
How does having an author in the classroom change your students' learning experiences?
They write their own stories, they come up with things, they do book reports on books they've read. I see them even reading more.
You reach the kids different as a classroom teacher than you do as an author. But I still feel like a teacher because when I go to schools, I'm teaching kids about reading and writing. I do writing workshops. I'm just not in the same classroom every day. Teaching and writing, same thing. It's the kids, the best part. I visit about 60 New Jersey schools every single year. And every single year, I go to schools from every socioeconomic range. And there's one commonality: stress. Teachers are stressed, the kids are stressed, and it's heartbreaking. What I see is kids who are afraid to try. I see teachers who are frustrated, and I see society blaming teachers for all the things that are happening. Make no mistake, teaching is an art. There is never a moment in your classroom that's the same as the last moment. It doesn't change year to year, it changes minute to minute. That classroom is like a living, breathing organism. That classroom means you have some kids who are happy, some who are miserable, some don't feel good, some are tired, some don't understand what you're doing, some are going off ahead. This is all happening, and it just keeps happening, and a teacher's job is to adjust to that. But you can't do it if they give you a script. It's the 3 things that affect education are parents, priorities, and poverty. And unless we address these things, teachers cannot teach, and students will not progress the way they should be. Your kids are not robots. This is not an assembly line. You cannot expect every day to go exactly how you plan it to go. We all know that as educators. But the people who make the laws have not been in the classrooms. They have not seen what's happening. So we have to educate them. That might be our biggest mission, is to educate the people who are making all the decisions. So thank you very much, and thank you for being here today. So if anything, I'd love to see more dialogue between teachers and parents to let them know what's going on. Because I really don't believe right now most parents understand the implications of things that have been changing in education.
Look, it's signed for you.
Oh, that's his book, not hers, so thank you.
On her website, Lisa includes a page devoted to tons of facts about our state, each one beginning with Good Morning, New Jersey. We'll add a link to Nikki Fifth on our website, classroomcloseup.org. That's where you'll find anything you may have missed on this episode, as well as past stories from the 23 seasons since we first went on the air. Believe it when I tell you, there are so many great things happening in our schools. I hope you'll join us next week when we meet the Teacher of the Year. Until then, for Classroom Close-Up New Jersey, I'm Marie Bliston. See you soon.
I hope to see more young people coming into the convention in the future. I think it's an extremely rewarding experience.
Classroom Close-Up is one of my favorite shows. It applies directly to me, and I can use some of the crafts that the other teachers are using directly in my classroom.
Rusty and I love Classroom Close-Up New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Gene.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this is Elijah.
And you're
watching Classroom Close-Up.